G'day everyone, welcome to another edition of Craps Down Under. Today I'm going to continue building our bankroll. There is something I need to rectify. On the last session I overpaid myself $7, so I do need to owe the house $7. So that'll bring that to I'll take this 26 and I'll get back to 19. That kind of gets us even with the house. Because I think paid where kept thinking I had 3 units or something like that on the bet when I only had 2. So I made one mistake on one of my payouts. So that gets us even with the house, keeps us all honest. So again, we're going to shoot for our 120 to 180 profit target. Got my $600 bankroll here. So what I might do is we'll get some hundreds. Take one of these, get a red, get those, so that's one of them down. And what else will we do? I'll get some greens, maybe I'll get a couple hundred in greens to start with. Alright, so got some greens in our rack, and maybe I'll get another rack of reds. Let's do that. And right, I'll keep these 2 blacks in reserve, and I will get whites. So get a bunch of those. No more. All right. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Whoops. Stop dropping chips. All right. So what I'm going to do a bit different, I actually thought I'm going to try using a lay bet, and I'm going to go up for $50, like so, and I'll explain it in a little sec. I'm going to go 3 units on my 5, 6, 8, which we do, or we could do the 9, 6, 8, 9, take your pick. I just tend to go for this one for whatever reason, because it kind of aligns more with later on when I start doing speculative field plays with a larger bankroll. So these 3 units, that's basically $51 of exposure. The 2 lays is basically going to pay me $50 less the VIG of $2 in VIG that I will owe, and I'll therefore basically, when a 7 shows, I'll be $3 short, and that's okay. I'm happy to be a little bit short. I'm not making the 7 a profit number, but I'm not making it a big loser either. So what that actually means, and the reason why I'm doing 2 now, from a probability point of view, there's just as many ways to roll the 4 and 10 as there is to roll the 7. Fair enough. And my exposure, however, there's only 3 ways to roll a 10, and there's only 3 ways to roll a 4. So I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm only going to really lose at most half my bet of what I'm getting covered on the lay. So I'm kind of going, well, I'm going to lose 51 here anyway, but doing it this way, I'm basically even with what a 7 will do. But what it does allow me to do is trade the risk as the hand develops, and I'll try and show that as we go. But basically after my first hit, I'm going to pull these down to $30. So the risk drops after that first hit, because the first hit's going to make us $21. So therefore I don't need as much cover, so I can drop this down, and then I can get a couple of subsequent hits, 1, 2, whatever, and I can actually either decide to leave them, or I can pull them down completely. I won't ever replace them. If they get knocked off, they get knocked off, and we just live with it. So yeah, so really my risk is, if I didn't have these, my risk is $51. Having these bets, I haven't really increased my risk. I've still got $50 risk. It's about the same. But what it does mean, if a 7 does show, which it tends to show reasonably often, I can keep up my action until I get a couple of hits. So it swings and roundabouts. We'll see how it works. It may or may not work for us. Who knows? So of course we're always working with this. And let's get started to see what the shooter does. And they've got a 7 straight out of the gate, so we lose 51 here. This will get paid 25. This one will get paid 25. We owe $2 in vig, right? And we'd need another $1 to put our action back up here, right? So I'll just give $3 back to the house and take that back. So every time the 7 rolls, I'll just hand the house $3 if we're at this level on the come out. And we've got an 8. All right. So that pays us $21. So what I immediately do, I say take me down to 30 on my lays. So let's take that out, go down to 30. And we've got a 6. So that's a $21 winner. Now if one of my lays does get knocked off, I will regress my action a little bit as well. Try and keep it balanced. There's a 7. Okay. So in this case, I'm basically going to get paid $30. So I've got two paying 15, that's basically 30. Now some casinos may not allow you to lay at a $30 level. It really does depend on the rules of your casino, what they allow. So that's something you'll definitely want to check if you do try this. So we're going to get 30. We will owe $1 in vig. We'll lose all of this because we didn't regress it down. We did keep it up, or trying to go that extra hit. But nonetheless, we have 30. Now we don't have to go straight back up to the higher level. We can use our 30 and play at a lower level, right? So we can play at a $34 level, right? And so now if a 7 rolls, yes, we'll have a little bit more exposure. Because we've got 34, I'm only going to get paid 30 less the vig, so 29. So we're going to be $5 out on a 7. That's okay. I'm just going to go with it, see what happens. We've got a 3. So I haven't bothered tracking the point, and I'm not really going to bother tracking the point here because we're always working. It's not really important to us. 6. So it pays us 15. 4-1. Now I probably should track the point because then we can kind of keep track of the shooter. Maybe I'll do that when we get a 7 out, but I'm not that fussed about it, to be honest. All right, so another 15 for 1. All right, and there's that 7 again. So quite clearly we made some money there because we got paid $30. But remember, we also get $30 on the payout here. We owe $1 in vig. Now I can pull down our action, or I can just basically give the house $5. That's what I paid them the $1 vig already. So I will just give them the $4 to keep my action all up. That's the difference. And that's it. So we keep trucking. So let's say that was a 7 out. We'll try and track the point here so we can keep track of where the shooter is. So okay, we lost one of our lays. That's okay. Because it's a minor, it's a minor little setback that we've suffered with the 7. So I'm okay. I'm just going to keep trucking. I'm kind of already reasonably ahead. So I'll just stay there. We've got midnight. And we've got a 5. So it's another 15 for 1. So this is only really giving me $15 to cover. Just made $15. I'm basically even with the hand already. We've got an 8. In fact, we didn't really get wiped out in the last 7 anyway. So Actually, I will have to pay that out exactly because I don't have any whites. So I'll pay out 14. Alright. And we've got a 5. That's another 15. 1. Now, just want to check where we are here, because remember I did have, that's what I started with. So we are ahead a little bit. In fact, if I take our action on that's here on the felt, we've got $34 in action, where I'll just base the course even there, and we've got 15 here, so about $50 up. Actually, a little bit more, maybe 60 bucks up. And we've got the 8. So you do have to kind of keep track of the lay bets, because you can often forget about them. So we're doing okay. We're making money, and we've got 6. And those 7s just didn't really hurt us. Now we've had knockoff on our lays. That's okay. It's going to happen. All right. So let me just move that to there. I'll keep rolling a bit. We'll just roll it out. And there's our 7. So that's okay. We're going to get paid 15 here. So I'll owe $1 vig. We'll lose this, but as you can see, basically half of it is paid for. Alright, you can see that very clearly. Right. And we had all those hits. So I'm quite happy to just run with the one lay. We don't have to have a big lay or anything like that. We can just let nature decide how long they last for. Happy to just run with the one, because it's paid for itself a few times already. And I should have turned that off there. So we got knocked off our lay. So that's okay. So that lay's been knocked down. So at this point is where we might consider going back up on our lays. So you could potentially go back up just at the $30 level, because that's kind of all we need for the level we're playing at now. Oh, we got hit. Okay, so should hit their point. All right, so we lose that one. We'll just leave him lie. And we've got a 7. Okay, so we do lose a little bit here. We lose about 15 bucks. We get paid 15 for this lay here. We do owe $1 vig. All right, so keep that there. That's our winnings. Take all this back. All right, so maybe we'll go back up to our higher level. Play a little bit higher. We've had a few knockoffs, so let's do that. Let's go up to a higher level, a 3-unit level. Let's see what we can do. Need to get some whites. So I'm just sort of using the lay as a little bit of cover against those early 7s, and I'm not worrying about them too much after, if that kind of makes sense. I'm not looking to have complete cover. It's just enough to cover us on those early rolls. All right, so that's a 7 out. Now, was that a come out 7? I'm not sure. Could have been a come out 7. Anyway, we'll just keep rolling. Of course, we're on. Let's see what we get. We got 6. All right. So that's a $21 winner. I might run it again, give us another go. There's a midnight at this level. We've got a 9, we're not on the 9. And we've got a 7, okay. So we basically owe the house $3. Our action stays up. Alright, so points off again. I didn't really track it very well. I'm doing a pretty bad job. Oh, there's another 7. Alright, so I'll give the house $5 and I'll get $2 back. There, back in our rack. Alright. Now we've got a 9, we're not on the 9. So maybe we could move to the 9 because I've had that 9, it's been hitting a few times. There's another 7. So this has been murdering us playing the normal way, but at the moment it doesn't matter. Alright, so I did another bad job at tracking the point, didn't I? 9, so point's 9. Alright, so we do get paid this time, we get paid 21. Alright, so we're still doing pretty good. We did have our lay knocked off. So we've kind of had 2 hits. 2 hits at this level. We can probably now afford to take down our lay a little bit. Go down a little bit there. Just take them to the 30. And we've had a bunch of 7s. So bit of a cluster of 7s. And I kind of believe that numbers do tend to clump. It is an inherent property of randomness that you get clumping all the time. You can't really predict what the clumps might be, but numbers do have to clump. Alright, so let's keep rolling. And there's another 7. So we're not quite over with. I forgot to regress. I should have actually regressed a bit there, but that's okay. That was my mistake. We got a little bit caught there. But remember, $20 of this, if I take that out, $21 of this was paid for by that previous hit, or even the previous 2 hits that we had. So as far as what we've actually, we're going to basically get paid $30. Right, so there's a $30. We're only, what do we got there? 20, 25, 30 there. So that's not too bad. We didn't end up bad at all. So it's kind of a wash. Alright, so let's, but I should have actually regressed, and that was a mistake on my part there. Because if you get those couple of hits, then you can regress. You can also regress that down. You've now, not only are you covering this, you've actually also got your profit locked away as well. It kind of works. It works very well. So I need to get some whites there. Alright. So where are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've still got, trying to keep that as our sort of 300 there, plus 100 there. And we've got what's here, plus what's on the felt, plus what's out here. So I think we're doing okay. You know, because if I take these 2 down here, that's basically gives us 100 in the rack there, plus what's on here. We're actually very, very close to our profit target. So let's do new come out. We're working. And we got the 4, so we got knocked off our lay. That's not what we want to have happen, but it's going to happen. So we just live with it. And unfortunately, we're getting a pretty nasty run of 7s, outsides and 7s. So we do lose a little bit here. So we'll take all this down, but it's not the end of the world because we've got $30. We're going to basically get to keep half of it. $1 vig. Alright, put that back over here on that pile. Alright, so let's go up again. Now, I might go up to the $50 level again. And go up to the 3 unit level on these. And I'm going to have to get some more whites. So let me do that. Alright. 3. Okay, you guys can go back there. Lay on. Alright, let's see if we can avoid some 7s, because I think that's about all we've been rolling. And horn numbers. So we haven't, as I said, if we were playing our other strategy, we probably would have been having a pretty hard time with all those 7s. It's been 7 city, and it's no different. It's still a 7. We're just not able to avoid them, and it always amazes me how much that 7 can punch above its weight. You know, we're meant to be a 70% to 30%, and that's murdering. It's punching way above its weight. So I just handed $3 because that's the difference. We stay trucking. All right. And, God, and another 7. Would you believe it? So I just got through explaining how it punches above its weight and it's not letting up. So I'm glad we actually played it this way. Yes, I know we're going to get hit off our lays, but wow, another 7. I think so. I think I rolled about 4 in a row now. That's at least 4 in a row. I'll get back to because we had the other 7 out, and then we rolled all these 7s again. All right, so let's see what we can get. Another 7. Okay. All right, so you're seeing it happen. The 7s are doing very, very well. All right. We finally got an on 7, but it dodged our numbers. Went all on the 9. We got an 8. Finally, our 70% number. Our 70% that's supposed to put us in good stead has finally got a hit. So after all of that, I don't know. I literally don't know how many we've had, but we've had a lot. Remember, each one of those was a $50 loss exposure that we had up here, $50. So if I lose one of these, they've paid for themselves. They've overwhelmingly paid for themselves at this point. Not that I want to lose one, but they certainly have paid for themselves. All right, 21. So at this point, I've locked up a little bit of profit. Locked up a little bit there. Now obviously we did get hurt a little bit by losing one of our lays. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take us down, go to the $30 level. Because remember, only one of these can ever lose at a time. That's the beauty. I'm only losing one. And effectively, because I got 2 of them, I'm usually getting paid whatever. If it's $30, that's what I'm going to get my payout for the 7, which is going to be usually equal to the risk that I'm putting up here. So now I'm going to come down, right? And so that's taking $15 off the. Now we won 21, and I'm actually taking off $17, right? So I've actually. What's that? 17 plus 21 is $38, right? So I've taken $38 and I've taken effectively $20 of my coverage against the 7 off the board by reducing my lay bets. So I've basically locked up those hits. Now it really doesn't matter. I'm kind of ahead because I'm going to get paid $30 on a 7, and I've got 34 there, but with what I've locked up as a profit, I'm well and truly in a good position until a lay gets knocked off. But that's okay. We just live with it. And there's a 7. So came at not the optimal time, but we still win 15. And pay 1. We lose all this. Remember, we've only lost basically a little more than half of it. and we already have those two $40 hits. So two $20 hits. Yes, we've lost 30. We had two hits. So it's not the end of the world. So let's just continue with what we've got at the moment. We'll just continue at the $2 level. So I've got basically $15 of exposure. Now I could probably do this. I could probably put us up. Could probably do that. Why not? Put us up. The sevens seem to be hanging around. We really haven't had a very good run at all. It's been a pretty difficult run, so maybe I'll try and track the point this time. Not doing a good job at all at that. Pay it out exactly. 14. All right, so we could certainly go, well, maybe we'll get a hit. Maybe we could reinvest it and press, do something like that. Maybe split, something like that. I don't know. I'm just going with it. Let's see what happens. We've got the 5. So we're going to get a small hit on that one. All right, I will collect that one. Get something back. Hoping to get one on the middle. Oh, great, we got one. The shooters hit their point. So that's another, what do we got there? 3. So that's a 21. 21, that's great. Let's press our 5 and 9 up. Point comes off, we're still working. Aces, doesn't do anything for us. And midnight, doesn't do anything for us either. And a 7. So fortunately, just not able to get free of that 7, getting very, very, very few hits compared to the 7s. So I don't know where our 70% has gone, but certainly it's not looking after us. So what I'll do is 30. I'll just pay it out of this. So that's 30 there. We do this. Most of this is actually pressed up winnings. So not the end of the world. And we owe a $1 big. All right, and need to get some more. Yeah, so I honestly think we would have been destroyed without the lays this time. I really think it just would have been so difficult to have survived all of that, the number of 7s we've seen. So we're all working. Let's see what we get. 5. All right. Finally, a shooter that hasn't rolled a 7. So we're going to get paid 15 for 1. All right. So maybe we can pick up our 9 and just rack one. Got the 8. Okay. So another 15 for 1. I might collect it. And that 7 keeps saying hello. Hello, don't forget about me. All right, so I'll pay a vig, lose all this. So we were actually in a very, very good shape at one point. I still think we're still okay. So let's just do a little stock take of where we're at. So that's all intact. That's our 300 there, 400, 500. So we're still 500, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So we are a little bit down, sorry. So yes, we have lost a bit of our bankroll because we should have another 100 here. That's why we took 200 out in greens. So we're not too bad. It's okay. We've had a pretty rough ride. But I certainly think the lays have helped. Even though even though from time to time they are going to get knocked off. That's expected. All right, so lay on. All right. Oh, might change dice because I don't like those dice. All right, let's get shooting. And we've got a 5. Okay. So 15 for 1. All right, so maybe we'll just collect. We'll save some expanding out for a bit later on. We could potentially do that, just split it. But again, I don't like being thin. It always seems to not work well. Okay, there's a 6. Another 15 for 1. All right, so I might actually get some whites. I might press that guy up. I'll press this guy up too. All right. And we get another one. No. We literally are hardly getting a hit before the 7 shows. So the 70% is not prevailing over a 30%. And that's where I say, you know, the math is great. It's interesting and it certainly gives you some perspective of what you might see over the long term, but it absolutely bears no resemblance to what you see in a game. That's 7, and I don't know how it does it, but it's like having a coin that's 50% and it just always keeps coming up heads. And no matter what you do, heads just keeps coming up. And you go, is it a fair coin? But anyway, let's get paid out. 1, 2, there's our 30. So lose a little bit. And we need to pay $1 vig. Let's get established again. And you get some more whites. So possibly should be playing our dark side. We're playing a hybrid strategy. But even that's not working. Based on what I'm seeing here, we probably just would have been better not playing any light side action at all and just having the lay bets working and collecting, because we are really struggling to get a hit. All right, new shooter, new dice, 6. All right, so we've got a hit, 15 for 1. I was thinking we had 18 on there, we only have 15. Yeah, only 12 on there. So 15 for 1. Again, I'm going to try and press. Try and make our second win count. Eight. Okay, so we finally got 2 hits before a 7. Didn't think it was going to be that hard. All right. Okay, I'm going to press up again. Get some more whites. So we're kind of going for it to try and recover some loss here. I will collect this next one, 9, if we manage to get one. Oh, we've got one. All right. So that's kind of amazing. So I've got 24 pays 28. And we do kind of need it, because we've got to get back another 100 here before we even get back to 0. All right. 8. All right, another 28. Hopefully we manage to get a little run here. So I'm kind of pressing my luck. I realise I'm pressing my luck, but given the session we've had and the balance of probabilities, the number of sevens we've seen versus the very few number of inside numbers, we're so out of balance with what we've seen. Now that doesn't mean that the universe somehow has to go, oh, let's try and make it even. No, I'm just saying that at some point our inside numbers have to show up if it's a fair dice. So that's all I'm saying, and I'm hoping that we manage to see that soon, but no. All right, so we got very little out of that, but we at least get something back. So there's 25, 30, so we get 30 back. So we did push it a bit on that one. We do our $1 vig. And we need to get ourselves back up. Alright, so it's basically the 7, was a $5 transaction, I guess, to get us back to here. But remember, we did get some positive hits, so it's not all bad. And we've got an 8. Alright, so 15 for 1. So again, I'm gonna be a little bit aggressive. $9, I'm not on the 9. Now we could move to the 9. 3. 9, all right. So that gives us 21. So I'll take that, but I'll take 10 back because that kind of covers us, and I'll get a little bit on the 5 as well. And that's 7. No, just literally, it just beats us every time. Every time. So, wow. So, let's go back up again. So can we actually make anything before we get knocked off our lays? It's a real struggle. Now we have actually got back pretty well back to our, we've got 50 on the felt, 60 on the felt here. So we're basically ahead in our bankroll. I actually believe we're actually ahead at this point. So we've recovered back, but it's a struggle. And without the lays, we would have been destroyed. $9, so we're not on the 9. Do we want to move? Maybe we can. Oh, sorry, was that 6, 4, 10 or 6, 4? I'm not sure what that was. I may have misread it, but maybe when I looked at it, I saw a 6, 4 in my hand, but I called it as a 9, and I hope I didn't do something wrong there. So I'll only know when I review the video. So if I've made a mistake, I apologise, but I actually read it as 639 for some reason. All right, so what do we got? But if I do, if I make a mistake, it's $30 is what I'll owe the house. All right, so that pays 15 for 1. All right, so let's do a press. Sorry, I'm not even looking at the right. Oh no, sorry. What have I done? Oh no, I've just put the dice there. Oh, that's right, we've got on the 8. That's right, we had the 9. I moved to the 9. Then I thought I had a 6, 4, 10. Okay, so now we're on the 8. All right, that's what's come out. So I've done the right thing. So 15 for 1. Now I'm not sure if I paid the 1, but I'll do it again anyway. So a real big screw up here. Sorry guys, getting myself very confused. So we're going to do a press up to 3 units. See if we can get another hit. I've got an 8. Perfect. Alright, so 3 units pays 21. So, we could go down a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, and just pick up an extra number. We've got a 5, so that paid off that time by picking up the 5. Get 15 for 1. Alright, so I'm aware that this video has gone a fairly long time, and I'm actually going to probably kind of end it just because of the time frame. So I'm actually going to pull my action down because I don't like to do too long videos. I think people aren't really going to watch a video that goes for an hour most of the time. So I'm actually just going to take us back to whatever we have. Alright, so we're up a little bit, not a lot, but we are up. Right, so there's 200, 300, 400. Nothing fits in there. So that's two blacks. So there's our 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. All right, and we've got whatever else is our profit. So there's 25 there. Actually, I'll put that there. So that's our original bankroll there. This is our profit. It's not where I want to be. It's not hitting our profit target, but I'm aware that we've been going a little while now. And I think it's fair to call the time limit and say that's that. All right, so need a couple of greens. All right, so not quite 100. All right, so 80, 90, 95, 96. So I'll take the 96 given the beating up that we had. I think the lays worked amazingly well. I actually kind of shudder to think how I would have survived with that roll of dice, playing, just trying to get a hit on the 5, 6, 8. The number of 7s, we just got ripped to death if we weren't having the lays to cover us. So I think in this particular session, they were an indispensable tool and saved us so many more times than when they actually got hit. And they weren't big lays, like they were $30 lays, two $30 lays. Only one of them can ever get hit at a time. So even though you got $60, only one can actually get hit. So yes, the probability is the same as the 7. I get that, but I'd rather. I don't know. For me, it just seemed to work better being able to work every roll, mostly with impunity. Not all the time. We did have some exposure some of the time. Yes, we did lose pressed up winnings. It wasn't a perfect hedge. It was, often $4 or $5 under or something like that, or $3. It's not a perfect hedge, but it was a useful tool that I think really saved us. So even despite it was an absolutely horrible run. It was just disgusting. I can't believe how many times that 7 rolled. And then we saw it go back to back to back to back. It was either 4, if I count the PSO before it, and then the general amount of sevens that had rolled even before that cluster started, but there was a PSO before it. Then there was about 4 or 5 sevens we got it back to back, and then they set a point, and then I think they sevened out again. So, you know, just that cluster of sevens was brutal. So let's colour up our profits. We can get a black there. All right, so that's another black. So it's not our 20% target, and sometimes you just have to accept what the table's giving you, and also keep to your time limits. All right, so get rid of those whites. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. So there we go. We've got 4 $500 reserve bankrolls, and a little bit extra. And we've still got our $600 session bankroll. So I think it was an absolutely adverse session. I think it was a brutal session, and we still prevailed. So that tells me that the lays actually helped us. And look, it could have gone differently. We could have been smashing the 4 and the 10 and the 7s. No doubt that could happen. If you are getting those situations where they just keep hammering the 4s and 10s, then I think we do have to look at the idea of patterns, and that was something Rob brought up in the comments. If you can identify patterns and what are happening, and you know, look, no one can predict the future. We're not saying we can predict anything, but maybe just going with what the table's doing. And the table was certainly not hitting our 4s and 10s too much, and it wasn't hitting these too much either. And I don't even recall that it was actually hitting the horn numbers that much. It was literally just hitting a lot of 7s. They were just hitting like every second or third roll. So anyway, that's what it felt like. I'll have to review it again. But look, we did get some hits up here. Otherwise, we couldn't have won anything. So I'm not saying we didn't get hits up here, but we just literally were struggling to get 2 hits, before another 7. So. Yeah, I think the lays absolutely saved the day. So they won't always work that way, but today they prevailed, and I'm thankful that I used them, because I can't see how I would not have ploughed through the bankroll without them. So I pulled that tool out at the very right time, because man, that was a brutal session. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching, appreciate all your comments and feedback, appreciate all the new subscribers that I've noticed joining the channel. Thank you to Charlie from DGE and Wager Me This, who've also given me some good feedback on their channels, and referred other people over to me. So I really do appreciate all of that support within the community. My plan here is just to continue to share ideas and thoughts, and hopefully we can all become better craps players. I know that just by doing this series and trying my hardest to not lose has actually forced me to review the way I play. It's forced me to really think hard about what really matters, and what are the tactics that seem to be most effective. So I don't want to be perceived as some kind of master expert. I'm not. I'm on a journey like everyone else. But I'm trying to work out ways that can put the odds more in my favour. So hopefully everyone's finding it useful and interesting material. So I look forward to doing our next session, but I think I'm going to have to take a break after that one. But thanks again for watching.